Hey y'all, this week's episode of The Read is brought to you by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. Kifir and I have both built our own websites through Squarespace. There is nothing easier on the entire planet. You start with a design template and use drag and drop tools to make it your own, plus no hidden fees or price hikes. So head to squarespace.com/read to start your free trial. And when you're ready to launch your site, use offer code READ to save 10% off your first purchase. Let them know we sent you, and let's move on.
Hey guys, this Sunday on CBS, Latifah is returning to equalize injustice in the new CBS original series, The Equalizer. This reimagining of the classic show stars the Academy Award nominee and multi-hyphenate herself, Queen Latifah, as the Equalizer. Alongside her, you can find all-star actors like Chris Noth, Tori Kittles, Lorraine Toussaint, Lisa Lapira, and Adam Goldberg. Watch the world premiere of the new CBS original series, The Equalizer, Sunday at 8 to 7 Central on CBS. Have some fun, pop some corn, and let's start our show. All right, hello to all niggas and bitches. Welcome to Diggler's Wild World of Girls. I'm sitting here with the best bitch. I'm Harriet Winslow.
And I am Phyllis Wheatley. This is The Read.
It is indeed. Thank you for coming back on our second Black History Month episode. Nobody is fucking celebrating Black History Month. Can we move on?
I mean, we are still deep in the pandemic, so.
At this point, I watched cartoons and Drag Race and let you guys do the rest.
I am not caught up on Drag Race, but it is so good this season. I love it. The first 2 episodes, nigga, I just gagged the entire time. It was incredible.
Yeah, they're having fun over there.
Yeah.
So Black Excellence this week is going to an 11-year-old named Hart Wilson, who's from Pearland, Texas, and he's the owner of Candles from the Heart.
Yes,
which is a handmade candle company. So here's the fun thing about this. This was a company that he decided to start as a way to raise money so that he could attend his dream school, Howard University. So apparently,
wow,
he took a trip to Howard when he was 6 years old and said, "Oh, my home.
This is it for me, girls.
This is where I am." And I'm like, when I was 6 years old, if I happened to be on that campus or any other campus for that matter, I would have simply been begging for a ride home.
Yeah.
Like I would have been wondering why we're here, why it has anything to do with me. I would have been miserable. So,
I mean, I wanted to go to Hillman and I wanted to go real bad. So yeah, I understand.
That is where I wanted.
I understand. I do.
So apparently last year, he was perusing the YouTubes and things and saw people making money online, and he decided to settle on candles. They figured out how to, he figured out how to make candles with his parents helping him. And since then, he's been selling them on Etsy, all kinds of different scents like guava fresca and grapefruit and mint.
Okay, you fancy.
Cashmere plum. And cashmere plum is in honor of Alzheimer's Awareness Month. So, first of all, gag, because young Hart Wilson has already sold a batch of these candles to the New Orleans Pelicans. Actors and writers from shows like Queen Sugar, Sisters, and How to Get Away with Murder have purchased the candles. They've got candles in stores from Chicago and Texas. So, I bought 4. So
I was going to say, every week these kids take my money. Every single, because how can I not? You can't tell me your baby is selling candles to go to Howard and not expect me to buy out your inventory. I'm going to do that.
I purchased a solid 4 and I'll be back for more.
Wow. Yes, Pearland. I love to see it. How cute. A damn shame that kids have to sell candles to pay tuition, but...
Okay.
Because Howard's not cheap, girls. But yeah, I just love it.
Yeah, he'll definitely, I believe have the means, at least financially, to get there with the way these candles are moving.
Yeah. I mean, and he's only 11, so he has some time to save up.
And you know, Etsy's the one who like Etsy gets you with the last minute checkout anxiety, because they be the ones who be like, hey, there's another 25 girls with this same item in their cart right now, honey. So it's time to decide. What are you gonna do? Are you here to
there are 4 left. So what will you do?
I was like,
that was literally me earlier buying Friends thing that she just put out with Miriam, their activation packet stuff. I went on Etsy and it was like, there are 6 remaining in the store and 20 people have it in the cart. And my nigga,
so what are you gonna
when
do?
I tell you I focused on checking out, I was like, we have to do it right now. I cannot hesitate. I have to press place order. You're right. Etsy does. They drive up your anxiety.
So I will include a link in the description if you guys want to support. Otherwise, you can just look them up, Candles from the Heart, and go show them some love. And I know that we have a lot of Howard alum that listen to the show. So here's your up and coming.
Like,
embrace it.
I mean, and Howard, please, that what they can handle that all by themselves. So congratulations, young man.
Okay, so this week in our pop culture segment, Hot Tops, One Bottom in Miami, which is also the name of my upcoming Lifetime biopic.
I'm not finna do this with you.
Speaking of Lifetime, we spoke, I believe, last week about Spinderella and her open letter to Salt-N-Pepa after their Lifetime movie came out. And Spin said that, you know, she wasn't in the producer's chair the way that she should have been, and disappointment and so on and so forth.
Right.
So apparently Salt herself, or Salt as I usually call her, they used to have like a reality show on, I want to say VH1, because who else would really exploit the girls? Well, many other people. It could have honestly been on VH1, Oxygen, WeTV, whatever.
It sounds like
anyway,
VH1 though.
They had a show, and I don't remember what the fuck it was really about. I feel like they were like, oh, we're going to go on tour again, or we're going to do like a show with Broccoli Fest. Or what's that shit called?
Yeah, Broccoli City.
It was some shit like that. But all I really remember is that Peppa always would say, Swole, Swole. Like, she would always pronounce her name like that. So that's why I say her name. Anyway, so Swole told People magazine, I reached out to Spinderella. I feel like this is very unfortunate. We've come to a crossroads where we've decided to agree to disagree. I definitely am open, and Peppa's open. We've talked about it, and our hearts open, have always been open to Spinderella. As far as the public is concerned, I'm really happy about the people who know that they don't know everything. Which
I love that.
Is a delightful sentence.
What a line.
She then said there's 6 sides to every story, which is where she lost me, because I don't really know what that means. But we just hope that we can come to some sort of resolution in the future. You never know. You never know what God is doing. So she says that she reached out to Spinderella. I don't know if that's before or after the movie was produced and released. But
it sounds like after.
It sounds like after. Sounds like after Spinderella Red, y'all.
Yep.
Apparently Peppa, you know, claimed that the movie was more so focused on Salt-N-Pepa's relationship and friendship in college and growing up together, more so than whatever the fuck else, which sounds like the way that I would expect the both of them to address this. I'm surprised they addressed it at all, to be honest.
I guess, but the movie definitely ended with Salt-N-Pepa, the group, performing on stage.
It sure did. Yeah.
You can act like it was about college if you want to.
Yeah.
But no, ma'am.
Yeah.
It was not. So, I mean, you could just say, listen, we don't really get along with that bitch too much. And so when it came time to make conversations, nobody made it a priority.
It fully gives me Salt-N-Pepa were in a room with whom the fuck ever over at Lifetime, and the girls were talking about producing it, and maybe Salt was like, oh, and then Spin, and someone across the table was like, yeah, about budget. We just feel like doing it. And they just went along with it.
Yeah. And it was that easy. I would not.
It really honestly gives me like, do we really need to pay Spinderella too? Like, you know.
Come on, you guys.
And they were just like, yeah, sure, whatever, fine. Well, God bless the children. Just a fresh 2 weeks ago, I believe, we spoke about light-skinned Dominican singer DaniLeigh and her newest record. Well, apparently she may have put both of her yellow-boned feet in her mouth just to taste too early. Because as of this past Sunday, Miss DaniLeigh has reported on her IG that she's officially single, while DaBaby is doing some sort of TikTok sweepstakes where he gonna go on a date with some bitch on
my
Valentine's.
God. What is that nigga doing?
I have no idea. It comes with a challenge and everything. And my God, the challenges. So, like, Jesus, 3 a week. Fuck, like who? Everything done, and it's like it's one thing when it's the babies, you know, because like some of the 16-year-olds are organically coming up with whatever their challenge is, and sometimes I'm like, oh, this is fun, that's cute, and other times I'm like, I don't understand what is happening. Right. But it's a lot of you motherfucking 50-year-old bastards that are out here trying to concoct challenges so that you can sell things, and I am exhausted. Yes. I'm tired.
When Jennifer Lopez tried to start the Love Don't Cost a Thing challenge, I said, leave us alone.
Like, why are we...
You old, beautiful woman, go away. How dare you?
It's not even... It's like, I'm not going to act like I don't see the marketing behind it. You know, I understand why it's done. But fuck, like, let it happen. Yes. Like, let the girls decide.
Let it
That's
happen.
When it's fun. Ugh. Anyhow, so yeah, apparently the children they're all over DaniLeigh's. Is it DaniLeigh or who cares? They're all over Danny's. All over Danny's pages saying things mostly like, "Guess Yellowbone ain't what he want, huh, sis?" To which she finally responded and said something like, "Is that all y'all gonna say to me? God damn, y'all ain't got no-" something." I'm paraphrasing, right. But she's sick of y'all. You know, coming for her on that terrible song that she had the nerve. I don't even know if it came out or if she just teased it. But just go ahead and act like it never happened, sis. Just act like you have selective amnesia and that's not a part of the selection. Because wow, was that terrible. Not just because of the message, but because of the production, vocal, mixing, direct, everything about it was pure waste. And I just want you to forget about that the same way that DaBaby has already forgotten about you. This gives me that DaBaby's mama called him after that song thing and was like, typically I don't give a fuck where you at, but what I'm gonna need you to do right now, I'm gonna need you to tell that little high yellow thing that you can't see her no more. You can't call her. Tell her to delete your number. Okay? Yeah,
too many people got mad at her for that is what I'm guessing, but I hope y'all don't think that just because he broke up with this allegedly light-skinned person means that light skin ain't what he want. Cause he could just go get another one, her same shade of, you know.
That light skin may have made public relations a little hot for DaBaby.
Yeah. Yeah.
So much like the lifetime table set to Salt-N-Pepa. I don't know. I feel like there was one particular white person over on DaBaby's team that was like, let's talk about this girlfriend.
And then this nigga, you know, he probably ready to cheat in peace anyway. So he was like, it ain't ain't no problem.
He's smooth. Howard.
Oh man. How are you running a Valentine's Day dating competition? How is that even happening? Is it a Zoom date? Please don't tell me he's taking somebody to a restaurant right now. Please don't tell me that.
This TikTok is a hashtag masterpiece. This morning, best reenactment of this TikTok gets flown out for a date with baby on Valentine's Day.
Flown out.
Hashtag masterpiece challenge. Choosing the winner Friday.
So you can board a Spirit flight to wherever DaBaby is at.
Yeah.
And spend 2 days and 1 night in
that was past generous.
in a motel. They'll let us sleep one night, and then she is on the first Spirit back home.
Sweetheart, let me give you the reality. That was very sweet and cute what she just tried to do for you. That was interested in possibly participating in the Master Beast Challenge, okay? You will board a Spirit airline flight. You will be flown the fuck out to wherever the fuck baby is at, probably in Fort Lauderdale, Florida somewhere, or Atlanta, okay? You will spend one lunch, and I'm here to repeat, one lunch with baby, possibly at like a JR Crickets, maybe at something like a California Pizza Kitchen. After that, you will get a tote bag of the baby swag, okay, with the CD and probably a sign poster in it or somewhere, and you will get on the smoothest red eye back to your hometown that evening, okay? So participate at your own goddamn risk and however the fuck. Because girl,
and you will get
2 nights. Bitch, please, you'll get a selfie, but I want you to know that you will be at CPK with that nigga and 16 others at the largest table that they have available, and you will see him for no longer than 1.5 hours. Then you're flying home, girl. Or you can stay in Fort Lauderdale if you want to. Somebody could send you your luggage. But like a weekend, get it out of your mind. It's not happening.
I said one night, but I think you sold it to me now.
No.
You're getting on the first plane out of whatever major airport is closest to you.
Right. You may spend one night in Hartsfield, Atlanta, Hartsfield, Jackson. You might spend one night at Fort Lauderdale Airport if you miss your Uber from the CPK. Yes. You may spend one night in whatever city. If you don't make your plane, I'm here to let you know the truth. That's it.
Oh my God.
Well, God bless the baby's baby mama. I'm sure that her group chat is lit. I know that shit is on fire. Bitch, wow, if I could be on a Zoom call.
Oh, they've been cackling. 100% definitely have been. I can't stand you.
Do you have friends? Like,
who thought this was a good idea? Okay, all right.
Y'all gotta stop telling all of these motherfucking people yes to everything that they say, everything that they do, and everything that they express just because you get, access to some free hookah and you get behind the velvet rope. Y'all bitches need to start being honest with your friends, because this is not like this how they get into this type of shit. And then their stock plummets, you act like you don't know them. Like, be honest with your friends. Hip hop party promoter Lil Bow Wow has apparently shown interest in a change in occupation. Finally. He tweeted, "Now I know this might sound crazy,
Lord.
but
It will.
After I drop my last album, I will focus on TV and film and joining the WWE."
What? Haven't you already dropped your last album? What the fuck? The WW Hoomst. I know you bullshitting me. I'm finna look it up because I know you are.
This is the first time I said it out loud. So,
I hate you.
It really just sits there. It's been a lifelong childhood dream to wrestle in the WWE.
Oh my God, you weren't bullshitting. Oh my God.
He continues, me and Rey Mysterio versus whoever at WWE for the tag team titles. Now, on one end, it's great to see him showing initiative in something that isn't rap music or pandemic parties. However, the first thing I thought of when I read this was like, isn't Bow Wow like 3'2"? I don't know how,
Yes.
I haven't watched wrestling since it was like it freshly became WWE. I think even maybe just a bit before then is when I stopped watching. I'm talking about Dwayne Johnson was still up there in his, his draws and doing the eyebrow thing.
No.
Ages ago. So I haven't watched it in a while. So I don't think that you don't need to be, fucking NBA height or whatever. I don't know that has anything to do with anything. So, but I just first thought isn't Bow Wow kind of, small?
And petite?
I don't But then maybe that doesn't matter. And, you know, it's also acting and writing and a lot of that other stuff. So I don't know. Maybe they have a place for him.
I don't think it is acting. Like, a lot of it is fake, but you do have to be able to sell it.
Right.
And Bow Wow just doesn't, just looking at Bow Wow, I don't think he can sell pro wrestler to me. And I haven't watched wrestling since Hulk Hogan. So
there you go. Like, it's all about character. And, you know, they've got like the wrestlers they root for. You got like the villains and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, how would you fit in? But I also think about like The Miz. I remember watching The Real World when The Miz was Mike. On the same season of Coral, literal
Incredible.
Music television legend. My God, Coral, wherever you are, girl, God bless you.
Hope
Damn, you did a lot for TV.
Yes.
Wow, what a queen and an icon. But anyway, that's separate. I remember that white man being on The Real World and obsessing with wrestling and talking about how badly he wanted to be in the WWF and all this other shit and playing around with it. And he's legit a professional wrestler now. So
I mean, that's true. That did actually happen. So
maybe there's a place for him.
But also, Mike looked like a wrestler. He looked like the kind of white boy who would want to be a wrestler. I'm just saying. Bow Wow, I don't know. Bow Wow looks like he's majoring in art history.
Oh.
So it's just not the same.
Graffiti art history? Like,
no, I'm just saying he has the build of someone who's majoring in art history.
Oh.
I didn't mean, oh God, no, I didn't mean like anything about him. Oh God, no. Bow Wow looked like he would never decide to major in anything in his life. Yeah, right.
Young man, God bless you in all of your endeavors. Again, I feel like the WWE thing is super random, but I don't watch wrestling anymore, like I said. And I know that it's like, in terms of people who are professional wrestlers, it's very different now, like, than when I was watching it. They've got like all kinds of different types of people who are pro wrestlers and different characters and aesthetics and stuff. I just feel like like most WWE fans would be like, if Shad does not get the fuck out of here with this, like, I don't know where would you, I don't know. I
don't know either. And I can't even pretend like I'll watch out of curiosity because I deeply don't care. But it sounds like he probably already has some kind of special coming up with the WWE anyway, and this is just a weird way to promote it.
Maybe he does. They might be able to fit him in somewhere. And again, I would not be mad at that. Anything is better than throwing Peter Pan parties.
The check cleared. The check cleared. So,
speaking of shows I don't watch, Wild 'N Out is apparently about to come back, or the the syndicated episodes, the reruns are supposed to come back to Viacom Networks, VH1 and stuff this week.
Oh.
And they're going to be producing new episodes of Wild 'N Out in the near future, apparently. This is after Nick Cannon apologized profusely to the Jewish community after making some anti-Semitic comments last year on his show.
Right.
He also probably celebrated Hanukkah last year, Rosh Hashanah, and the rest of the girls. Because when I tell you that he like Nick Cannon got elbow deep in Jewish culture and was like, no, my M's and my B's don't come for them.
Oh man, I don't even remember what he said, but I do remember it being deeply problematic. So
it was like a lot of the typical like conspiracy theory Jewish Hotep conversation. It's not even something that's almost exclusive to Nick Cannon. He was essentially just repeating shit that like a lot of people
Hotep
around him and people that he admires have said, and he bear the brunt of a lot of that stuff because he is in business with so much. I mean, he hosts fucking like not one of those talent shows. I don't know if it's America's Got Talent or one of them.
Yeah. It is. I think it's America's Got Talent.
I think that he was also hosting The Masked Singer, but just got replaced by Niecy Nash because he tested positive for COVID. I read. But like, then the Wild 'N Out show, and like he's got like
Yeah.
you know,
He's
white money.
Right.
So he pissed off way too many Caucasians, way too many Jewish people. And the girls were like, nah. But like I said, he went on his apology tour. And MTV Entertainment Group spokesperson said, Nick has not only apologized and taken responsibility for his comments, but he has also worked to educate himself and others through engagement with Jewish leaders and on his platforms. Those efforts are of the utmost importance. And that's why we have invited him to rejoin our team. So this is interesting because, like, Nick was even at one point when he was like, 10 toes down, standing by what he said. He was like, I will sue you bitches for wilding out. Give me my shit. Yeah. Y'all are going to ruin it without me and all this other stuff. And now they've made amends. But what's interesting about it to me is, like, a lot of people, and I mean us when I say people, are like, yeah, good for Nick. Cool. And then a lot of other people are like, oh, you sold out and got back in bed with the white man. You did all that. People who like Hotep niggas.
Yeah,
and,
the
like,
Hotep niggas who was really behind him. Yeah. Who
were like super behind what he was saying are kind of disappointed that he apologized and did work to try and figure out where he may have been wrong. And
how dare you better yourself?
Right. So some people are salty about it while other people are like, good for him. And then there are people like me who are like, this affects me none at all. God bless everybody.
Right.
Because, like, the one thing about Wild 'N Out, although I haven't watched it again since maybe college. Damn, that show
has it been on that long? Oh my god!
I feel like it has to be. I feel like Wild 'N Out was on when I was in college.
Wow.
Like, I'm talking about like back when like Cat Williams and shit used to be on Wild 'N Out, like early, but whenever, like the initial run of the show is when I was watching it. But I love that there are so many. There's so much young talent that gets to sort of use that as a platform, and they sort of like reach their hands out to like a lot of the people on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok and Vine and all of that stuff to be a part of it. Yeah. So I like the fact that it sort of has operated as a springboard for young talent. And at least it will continue to be produced under the person who had the initial vision for it.
I mean, yeah, if these people feel like he's made enough of amends for him to have his show back, then that's fine. I wasn't watching Wild 'N Out anyway, so this affects me, like you said, not at all. I don't know how the Jewish community feels about it, but I hope everybody is at peace. Like, I'm not going to pretend to speak for them. I hope everybody is at peace about it.
Exactly. So, same. And I'm like, there is something skeevy, though, the thought of, like, expelling this man from Wild 'N Out and then continuing to do it and make a shit ton of money.
Especially if it's like, still called Nick Cannon's Wild 'N Out. Like, that's just very awkward. Who's going to... I mean, and I think it was probably a fact that, it's been some time. Everybody's cooled off. Nick has done the things that they would expect him to do. And both sides realize that the money is nice.
Yeah.
Wild 'N Out was popular for Viacom. So I'm not shocked that some time has passed and everybody was like, let's get back to making a lot of money together.
Yeah, ultimately, they were like, Nicholas got in front of his Negro community and told them that he was wrong.
He did.
And so, yes, we can continue to make money together.
Right.
Because as long as those black folk understand that we don't like that shit that he was talking about. And again, I don't, I feel like if I ask the first Jewish person I see about what they think, they will ask me, they'll be like, Nick Cannon got a podcast? Like, I really don't know what they even...
Right. I don't know if they are even like super aware of it, but also not gonna try to tell them how to feel either. Like,
right.
So,
period.
Yeah. God bless everybody.
Well, speaking of drama in production, over in the same place, MTV has said they are halting production on the Family Hustle, the T.I. and Tiny Friends and Family Hustle television show following these allegations of sexual abuse and coercion and assault the hands of both T.I. and Tiny. We spoke, I believe it was last week, about these allegations that started, that came from one of Tiny's ex-friends first, who has since been compiling all of these messages that she's been getting from people that claim that they had really fucked up experiences of, coercion, assault, all kinds of stuff that really all of these stories mirror one another. So yeah, MTV went ahead and said, or VH1, whoever, Viacom went ahead and said, none thanks, no thank you, go ahead, figure that out, get away from here. Lisa Bloom, right on time. If you counted her out,
you're the fool.
Sucks to be you.
Right.
Because she swept right on in, and she's apparently already representing at least one of these accusers.
Of course.
And yeah, I don't really know what to make of this shit yet, but I do imagine that the bottom of it will be gotten to at some point, because this does not sound like a swept under the rug ass shit. It's a lot of people making accusations towards both of them. And I truly do believe that there are people who, in terms of the types of stories that these people are sending in to this girl, Sabrina, I honestly do believe that there are a lot of people that do this to motherfuckers, specifically women, and feel like there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? Just because someone agrees to come back to your place or your hotel, agrees to do drugs with you or drink with you or whatever, doesn't mean
say it
anyway. You know what I mean? Especially if you're someone of a certain level of fame or whatever, in many cases, peer pressure and shit like that. I don't even know if peer pressure is the right thing, but it's that's a real thing. And motherfuckers know that. Again, I don't know the truth about anything behind T.I. and his wife, but I do believe that there are a lot of motherfuckers who do this stuff where they're just oh yeah, come back to such and such. You look good. We want to do whatever. And then get them in these situations with drugs where of course they go along with this stuff because they are just, excited or feel flattered or whatever to be around someone that they recognize or whatever. But if people are in a situation where they're getting fucked up to the point where they can't consent to anything, it doesn't matter that they agreed to be there. Right. It doesn't matter that they agreed to drink that or snort that or smoke that or do whatever. I feel like there are a lot of people who feel like that's some other shit. Probably a lot of the same people who don't understand why Bill Cosby is locked up.
Right.
But again, as far as this particular story with this particular couple, I do imagine that we will be hearing more about it in the near future. But I just want motherfuckers to understand, I hope not to trigger anyone, but you don't have to be violent or forceful with someone in order for it to count as rape or sexual
or
assault.
Coercion.
Or coercion.
Coercion
I don't think that
is a big problem. This is the the thing is we desperately need real and detailed and nationwide in-depth conversations about consent and what constitutes consent and different circumstances under which consent might be altered or no longer valid or whatever else. We desperately need that, but also with all the education in the world, some people are still going to be fucking gross. So
yeah.
It looks like this is gonna go places, and now that Lisa Bloom has signed on, we may actually start seeing. I'm just saying, we may actually start seeing real evidence and stuff. I kind of thought if no lawyers picked up any of these girls' cases or anything like that, they would just kind of fizzle out. But it looks like that might not be the case. So we'll see what
Lisa
happens.
Stays on the black blogs.
Listen, okay.
Miss Bloom.
She was reading the Shade Room that morning, and she got on the telephone.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, we'll see what comes out.
Yikes. Last story here I have is about a young rapper by the name of Lil Uzi Vert, who maybe should change his name maybe he should change his name to Little Universe, since apparently this nigga thought that it was a good idea to implant a $24 million pink diamond in the middle of his goddamn forehead. I want you to believe and understand that I am reading to you that this motherfucker said that he has been paying off this rock that sits between 10 and 11 carats since 2017.
Why?
$24 million on a stone simply to have some psycho put it in the middle of his fucking head like Vision from the fucking Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Though?
I don't understand why we're doing this. What, like...
That nigga really want to be Steven. He really do want to be Steven. Why would you do this?
And at first, when I first saw this, very much like the Squidward meme where he's sunbathing and he looks at his left and then back over to my, I very much was like, okay. But then as I'm, wading through the filth to look for stories for the week, I see a post where this nigga, which he deleted, posted, there is blood gushing from the
wound.
Yeah, the stone or whatever. He was bleeding all over the place at one point. And he claimed that if he didn't get it if he didn't get it taken out or something at the time, he could die. But then deleted the shit, posted a new thing where there was no blood, and he said, okay, we good. I just want to understand.
Nigga, what? Never mind. How did you go from I might die to never mind, we good? How did you come back from that?
Why? What is... What?
Why would you spend $24 million on a piece of rock, first of all?
For any place. For any place.
For anything.
For a watch on your wrist. For a bangle on your ankle.
Right.
For your living room coffee table. For whatever the fuck. But again, girl, I'm not going to count little universe's coins.
I am.
That's what you decided you wanted to do with your money, hun. But you decided also to plant it in the middle of the face that God gave you. For what? For what? And it's bleeding all over the place. At first it was you know what? I don't understand a lot of the shit that the girls do. They put diamonds in their teeth. They do, they tattoo their tongues and do all kinds of stuff. And it's your body. It's yours. Yeah. So fine. So I looked at this and I was like, wow, yeah, hip hop's getting to new heights.
Not new heights.
Trap trends are surpassing my understanding of reality. So I'm just here. Fine. But here you are now looking like Final Destination all over the goddamn place, bleeding and sharing it with us, talking about you might die, but then, okay, we good. No. I just want to know, JT, girl, call me back. I'm because... This nigga didn't talk about some take me as I am or love me for who I am with these weird cryptic posts. Who are you, nigga? Rose quartz?
Because it's not making sense.
Are you preparing some sort of a rebellion for the arrival of the diamonds? What the fuck? What does Lil Uzi Vert know that we don't?
Nothing. Literally not anything, not one thing. If you had to spend $24 million on a stone, then I'm going to need you to not be the type of person who has to make a payment plan on it either. If you can't wire $24 million or however very rich people move money, I don't know. I know it's not Cash App. If you can't do that, then you have no business spending $24 million on a rock. That is the single dumbest thing. You could have taken that money and invested it back in the neighborhood you grew up in and changed everybody's life.
You know that I thought of all of those things. But I was like, something? Again, a part of this rich rap nigga shit that I don't know anything about is spending insane amounts of money on diamonds and stuff like that. And don't get me wrong, I love diamonds and shit like that, bust downs and all that, like anybody the fuck else. Hello, I'm not goofy. But $24 fucking million, my nigga, and then you take the rock and put it between your brows? What planet is this? Is this the darkest timeline?
That's not gonna make you bleed? Of course it's gonna make you bleed.
And then you posting it and showing it to us like we supposed to be like shocked that blood is gushing from your goddamn forehead after you decided to take this fucking stone and have somebody surgically implanted in the middle of your fucking head.
Yeah.
What?
It's not good.
Y'all need role models. Now that Plies has removed his gold teeth, he should fully commit to being Kirk Franklin and save some hip hop souls, because they need like a support group or someone to like gather around these brothers and be like, all right, okay, what are we gonna do? Uzi Vert, get that stone out of your head and let somebody sew that shit back together. Wayne, let's talk about these dreads. Do you want them or not? Like, you look the fool right now, my Let's nigga. Talk about whether or not you want them. Like, I don't. It's your body, but it's just, like I'm so confused. I'm so lost. I don't understand why.
Because you won't. Because it just does not make sense. And
he
that's
said it best.
All there is to it. Correct. You cannot make sense. You can't
make sense out of nonsense.
My sis spoke a word that day.
That is a powerful scripture. Like,
you have to hold on to it. I needed it throughout all of 2020. Every day of 2020. I needed that word. And it carries on to this very moment.
What do you do when you go home to your mama's house?
Nope.
And you have this shit embedded in the middle of your goddamn face. I'm trying to think of what exactly my mother would say if I came home with a diamond of any price.
Right. A swap meet diamond.
Hello.
A cubic
I could have punched it right on down to Party City and grabbed me. Right. Like, I honestly feel like my mother would just clasp her hands together and just look at the ground for a solid 5 minutes before speaking.
They're gonna have questions.
I still don't know what she would say to me.
They're gonna have questions. And honestly, they should. Because what the fuck have you done to your face?
Why?
And for what reason? And why did we need to know how much it costs? Why were we involved at all? Okay. Wow. All right, niggas. All right.
There's that. That's it for the hot tops this week. Before we move on, of course, you know that we've got to get into Kid Fury's Sports Awards.
Why, Lord? Why, Lord?
I don't have a song yet. So, as you guys know, Super Bowl Louis Vuitton took place this past Sunday, as it does annually on Sundays. And, surprise, the team with Tom Brady in it won. Now, lots to cover here, but, you know, only in a short amount of time. So, less scuffed Chris Pratt led the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a staggering win against the Kansas City Chiefs, again this past Sunday, where they played football against one another on artificial grass. There was a lot of running, calisthenics, and throwing of football. And so what happened was that Tom Brady is a mutant, and alongside people like the Gronk.
Oh yeah, who's that?
Is not Yzma's sidekick from The Emperor's New Groove, but actually a football athlete.
Exactly. I knew it.
They played the game of football together and they won it as a team against the Chiefs, who I believe probably could look towards, I don't know, indigenous ancestors maybe for an answer as to why they didn't go the long way. Why the fuck are they called?
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Why have they not changed that yet? It's a good question.
Just feels a little.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
it definitely
2021.
is. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they threw a lot of things. And the Kansas City Chiefs, so many fumbles and they dropped the ball many times. And Tyreek Hill and the goal line for every yard.
What?
And there's
The what?
so there are four part segments, 4 portions.
Yeah.
And by the 4th one, the game was over. And the Bucks, which is short for Buccaneers, had more points than the other team. 31, I believe, to be exact. Which they get in an increment of points between numbers like 3 or 7 or 5 or between those. And then so they won. And there are so many running and attempts and most valuable players and passing yards. Also, Tom Brady has won 7 Super Bowls, which is a lot more than most people. Which means that he also has 7 Super Bowl rings because they give you jewelry. If you win, you get jewelry. And so there are rumors that Chris Pratt prototype is going to be playing with them again. And Gronk, whose first name is Robert, and the Tampa Bay region is very excited, and Boston is apparently not. Although more people in Boston watched the game than in Tampa Bay.
Because Tampa Bay was there. Them niggas was in the streets spreading corona and rejoicing.
So you're welcome. That has been a recap of the Super Bowl Louis Vuitton. Also, fun sidebar. Friday, Saturday, Sunday performed at halftime. And it happened. My mom texted me, who is this man? Who is this man singing?
Oh my God.
At halftime. Of course, I wasn't looking at it, but I told her that it was The Weeknd. I said he's a pop singer. I don't care for his voice too much. To which she responded, okay. So there.
Kia's mama texted her the same thing. Who is this man? No, she said, is he black?
Also in the name of Black History, 2 words, Jasmine Sullivan.
Oh, yes. Even though they made her perform with that white man. That was very wrong. But yes to Jasmine and yes to her.
So that has been Kid Theory Sports Shorts. You're all so welcome.
No.
You're welcome.
I just have a couple of questions.
Sure, not a problem.
First, I want to get your take on Patrick Mahomes' performance.
Yeah. What about it?
What did you think about Patrick Mahomes' performance for his team?
Quite abysmal, to be honest with you. And my God, your mama does not need to be caping for you all wide out in the open. I don't really care too much about what you did or how you did it.
What?
But what I will say is that, better luck next time. And also, that is an interesting name. And
what?
Playing professional football is a blessing, and many people don't get the opportunity. So God bless him. And his life if he lost or won or whichever one he did.
Okay. And what do you think about Brady and Gronk being back on the same team? How would you compare the Super Bowl performance or their performance all season to the last time they both played on the same team? And I'm sure you know
quite remarkable. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Don't be silly.
Right.
So, quite remarkable. A joy to see, to be honest. It felt a taste MAGA, but at the same time, you got to respect athleticism. And so for that, it was very nostalgic, and people enjoyed likely that, unless except people that didn't. So really quite a sportastic spectacle, I say. Quite a remarkable performance, in sync without the JC Chazes.
I'm surprised to hear you say that, given that Brady and Trump are friends and Brady had a MAGA hat in his locker.
Yeah, I said it tastes. It's a taste MAGA.
I mean,
I have literally called him Trump Brady on the program before, so I'm aware of that.
Okay.
I will say though that in terms of the art of running on this grass that's not real, and catching the ball and kicking the ball and running into people,
Okay.
You got to give respect where it's due, I suppose.
I suppose you do. Thanks, friend.
Yeah. Any other questions?
No, I can't think of anything else I would like to hear you explain about that game.
I mean, you're literally all welcome. I do this for you guys, you know what I'm saying, so that you're not confused when someone asks you at the water cooler about what's going on in sports. You're so incredibly welcome. I'm here whenever you need me, even though I'm not going to do this every week. And yeah, go whoever your favorite team is, and I hope that they have a better season when football is on again, because they probably weren't the Buccaneers, because
the Buccaneers are nobody's favorite except people who live in Tampa.
Yeah.
So, but that's fine.
Well, girl, you might as well call me Dix, because my sporting's good. On that note, we can just go ahead and take it right on to a smooth break. Yes, sir. Indeed. And we'll be back. So guys, listen, we all chew gum. Be honest. We all do. I do it quite a lot, maybe too much. But not all gum is created equal. Some might come in fancy packaging, but they only cover up your bad breath, which is a start. Others are loaded with sugar that can wreak havoc on your teeth. Luckily, the oral care experts at Quip have made a gum that stands out from the pack, one that can help prevent cavities as well, and it tastes good. It was only a few short years ago that Quip reinvented the toothbrush, which is the same toothbrush I'm using right now, honestly. Now they've launched a new gum that's actually good for your oral health and comes with a dispenser that'll remind you of the one-click candy you loved as a kid. You know what I'm talking about. The Slim Travel Ready dispenser is available in 5 colors, packs, and protects up to 10 pieces of gum at a time, and fits in just about any purse, pocketbook, pocket, rocket pocket, whatever. And in a world where we all need to be extra safe and hygienic, hopefully, the quick release button means you can still share with your friends without having to worry about germs and wrappers and all of those other things. It's not a substitute for brushing and flossing, weirdo. But this is a great
because you were thinking it.
Because you assumed, and I'm here to tell you we were wrong. In addition to gum packs, Quip also delivers brush heads, floss, and toothpaste refills every 3 months from $5. Shipping's free, so you can save money and skip the misery of being in store shopping for it. Spread good oral health habits this season and join the over 5 million mouths already using Quip. Get chewing for less than $2 per gum pack. And if you go to getquip.com/theread right now, you can get a free plastic dispenser with any refill plan. That's a free dispenser at getquip.com/theread, spelled GETQUIP.com/theread. Quip, the good habits company. Now let's move on.
Hey y'all, if you sell stuff online, then you are definitely in the right business, since these days more and more people are shopping online than we ever have before. So that means you have a lot of orders coming in, and a lot of orders that you'll need to ship out in a timely manner. That's where ShipStation comes in, because they make it super easy to manage and ship all your orders from all your sales channels faster, cheaper, and more efficiently. You can import orders from any sales channel, automate just about any shipping task. You can ship with any carrier, and you get discounted shipping rates. So no matter where you're selling, ShipStation funnels all your orders into one simple interface, and they work with all the major carriers, including USPS, FedEx, and UPS. Alex uses ShipStation to handle our merch orders over on shoptheread.com, and absolutely loves it because of this exact reason. It makes everything so simple. They automate a lot of it so you can ship more in less time. So if you want to do the same thing for your business, head on over to ShipStation.com and use our offer code READ to get a 60-day free trial. That's 2 months free of no hassle, stress-free shipping. So again, go to ShipStation.com, click on the microphone at the top of the page and type in READ. That's ShipStation.com. Enter offer code READ. Make ship happen with ShipStation and us. All right, let's get back to the show.
Okay, folks, we're back. And now it is time to read your listener letters.
It is. Send your questions to asktheread@gmail.com. We may just read them aloud on the show. Before we get into the questions, though, we had one from somebody who asked about how to cover up weed smell. And instantly, I felt like I needed to answer this question publicly. This is not an ad. I just need y'all to know. At one time, we were in Denver for a live show, staying in a hotel, and we went to the dispensary because every time we do a show in a city that has legal weed, we go to a dispensary.
We do.
And this dispensary in Denver had a spray called 420 spray.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you that 420 spray eliminates every trace of marijuana from the air, I mean it. Like, it is like fresh, clean air, like nobody ever was even in that room before kind of air.
It's like it specifically
incredible.
Seeks out the smell of marijuana and kills it.
Yeah.
There are a couple of sprays like that too, and I feel like they're not that hard to come by. Like a lot of the fucking smoke shops and bodegas in the city, even if you pay attention to like the counter or behind it, you'll see a little spray something that, and they're usually named or marketed something like specifically for
420
potheads. Yes. Like there's a place down the street from me that has it. I see it every time I go in there, and it's called something like it's called something like blunt, something with the word blunts in it. I don't know. And it's got like
of course,
some ridiculously grotesque looking Rasta cartoon on it, like all of the like dumb weed stereotypes. So they don't really shy away from being like, this is for spraying in your house so it doesn't smell like weed. Buy it. Usually those aren't bad,
right? But the one I love and like absolutely swear by is called 420 spray. Website is spray420.com.
Do they like ship to the girls?
They ship, and they ship in like,
there you go.
They ship in like bodega type of packaging where you get like 12 of them in a box, right? And they have different scents, but my favorite is the original. I don't too much care because it's super concentrated, so I don't want to smell like bubblegum air. Yeah. Just give me the regular.
Yeah,
but
just give me air.
Back when I had to care about other people smelling my weed, I kept, and if I ever get to travel again, I will bring that 420 spray with me in my toiletry bag because it is undefeated. So
yeah, again,
not an ad. I just wanted y'all to know there's something out there that really, really works. So
yeah,
good luck to you. If there's a weed smoker in your life and you're very tired of the way they smell, you might want to get them a can and be like, I'm trying. Let me help you, bitch. So, all right.
And hell, we know a lot of y'all get high. If you got any other tricks and tips for the kids, you can go ahead and just start that thread.
Oh yeah,
somewhere.
And I know a lot of them. Trust me, I know a lot of them. But that spray is. You could smoke in the hotel room, spray it out before you leave, and if the maid come in 15 minutes later, they will not find you. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe we should calm down.
I'm a little energetic.
Somebody gonna point to us from the W and start telling. Like, girl, I am not covering that $300.
Okay, just kidding. Take your own risks.
Yeah, what? We don't smoke weed.
All right. Anyway, moving on. Our first letter this week comes from George, who says, "My therapist switched to FaceTime meetings when the panic hit, like everybody else. And we have been working around the inevitable tech issues and the craziness around both of our lives. She mentioned having a relative who was in the hospital a few weeks ago and asked if I'd be okay with a little bit more flexibility with our scheduling. I said yes, because everybody's going through it right now and therapists are no exception. But lately I've noticed that in our sessions, she'll have her computer screen open while I'm talking and I can see it reflected in her glasses." Although she's listening, she kind of gets distracted. And to make matters worse, I feel like she only sort of perks up when I start crying or if I start talking about some traumatic shit, which makes me feel like I'm boring her otherwise. I don't know how to bring it up because she's a good therapist and she's an older Black woman. And I understand she might be going through it right now with the hospitalization of her relative. At the same time, it makes me feel shitty that I don't have undivided attention in the one space I go to be listened to. How do I talk to her about this? Thanks for your help, George.
I mean, again, I don't know if this is just some lame ass broken record stuff, but I honestly feel like a lot of y'all maybe get a little too in your head about things or conversations you need to have, stuff you need to address. Because I honestly, like, this person is not your cousin. You know, they're specifically connected to you to do a job. And so you're allowed to say how you feel about the job they're doing, you know, and if you're still getting help or, you know, you are being heard in moments of it, well, you know, great. I guess you can say that she's not completely ignoring you, but you deserve to feel like in that hour or however much time you have allotted in your session that you're being heard fully. You know what I mean? Like, so I think that should just be something that you have a talk with them about. You know what I mean? Like, for like my therapist, I've been seeing at least 4 years. I wouldn't be surprised if it's longer than that now. But I talked about when I started going to therapy on here. So I've been seeing her for years. And this lady had 2 babies like back to back within like the first maybe year and a half of me seeing her. So now she has 2 very young babies. And sometimes we'll have sessions even late at night. Sometimes we'll have sessions and them kids are like, that's cute and all of that. But guess what? Now's the time for raviolis or whatever. Like, you know, like. And so she'll have to like shuffle around and like be listening to me while she's trying to soothe these literal toddlers and baby, you know? And so like sometimes it's like, it feels like distracted because I know that other stuff is going on. I can hear other things going on. But she herself makes the effort to be like, to acknowledge it and to try to do something about it so that she can get back to giving me her undivided attention. It's not like she's just playing Candy Crush with the baby and you know what I mean? Right. Or, you know, surfing around. And I don't know what, you know, George's therapist is doing specifically on the computer that he's at, but I understand wanting to just have or needing to have that full focus from someone who's supposed to be helping you deal with your shit. And I feel like it's something that you can address the same way I would not have a problem addressing to my therapist if she never addressed it herself. If it was like a habit of her just like kicking it with the baby and not hearing what I'm saying or something like that, or me even just feeling like she's not hearing what I'm saying, I wouldn't have a problem addressing it because although we are close in the sense that she literally knows all of my goddamn business and helps to pull me up out of the garbage when I'm feeling like shit, we have that level of closeness. She's not my friend. You know, she's my doctor. Yes. And I pay her for the relationship that we have. So we have an understanding that I am permitted to say how I feel about that relationship. And she's not going to be like, how goddamn dare you go to hell?
Exactly.
You know, like, you have the right to just be like, here's how I feel, or I don't feel like I'm getting, you know, the adequate help or result or attention that I feel like I'm supposed to be getting for whatever the fuck reason. Like, don't be afraid to tell them to tighten up if you feel like that's what they need to do.
Yeah. I mean, literally exactly that. Therapists are just people. You know, they're supposed to be more evolved people than the rest of us, but they are still just human. They are subject to fucking up or being insensitive or anything else that anybody else might do. The difference is in how they're supposed to handle it. Because if your therapist is worth a damn, you should be able to say this to her and she respond in a professional and adult and mature way about it. Like, if you think that if you talk to your therapist, she's going to catch an attitude with you, then there's a real problem with your therapist. If that's what she actually does, because she of all people, like, my therapist knows me like nobody else on this earth does. And it's really weird because I have a lot of very close friendships. And yet this woman it is a very unique relationship. So if I'm feeling uncomfortable in it, in the place where I go to talk about everything else that makes me uncomfortable, I have to be able to address that. And she literally taught me to be the kind of bitch to address that.
Exactly.
So
like, they're therapists, girl.
Yeah.
Like, ideally,
she's supposed to be able to take it.
They have gone to school for a very, very long time.
3,000 hours of supervised therapy work. Like,
so that they can have these kinds of conversations with you, friend. You know what I mean? Like, if there's anybody that you should not feel too concerned to confront about something, it is your therapist. Although, don't get me wrong, I get it. Even with me, maybe not so much like anything with like her performance, but there were things that I was just not comfortable talking to her about, period. Yet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
So like,
you get to
something like, I get that it's not right. Like, it's not always the easiest to just, pour your fucking heart out from every angle with your therapist and stuff like that. But again, girl, like, this isn't, America is not just handing you mental health care. Like,
sad to say, because it owes us, but
it's especially if you got melanin friend.
Right.
So listen, I mean, go ahead and speak to your therapist, and if they're an actual therapist and worth the money that you're paying to see them, they will have like the ideal reaction to you saying what it is that you're saying. Like Crystal said, if your therapist has an attitude with you for saying this to them, that's a real problem.
Yeah.
They probably shouldn't be therapizing.
Probably not. Like, maybe it's too much going on in her personal life for her to serve as a therapist. And that's fine. But she has to understand that and take her time to herself. Because ultimately, she's not doing you a favor here.
Yes.
And even if it was free therapy, she still has an obligation to behave professionally.
Nail on the head. Exactly.
Good luck to you, George. Yes, as you have this conversation. Let's move on. Our next letter comes from Fifi, who says, I don't know how to tell my absolute best friend that I cannot make it to her wedding. I
wonder why.
You about to find out. My own wedding was this past December 2020, and my best friend was there for me in an unbelievable way. She helped me prepare and sort out everything I needed. I had to travel from the UK to Nigeria because the wedding happened in our home country where she currently resides. And as soon as I arrived in Nigeria, she began to help me with every fitting, every prep, and every meeting. She helped with every single thing, including things that were going wrong or failing. And since Nigerian weddings last a week, a lot happened. I cannot even explain how helpful and supportive she was. I got COVID after the wedding, which I was definitely finna ask. But yeah, I got COVID after the wedding and had to remain in isolation in Nigeria until I tested negative before I got to travel back to the UK. And this took time off of the days I put aside to travel to Nigeria again for her wedding. That means that at this moment, I have exhausted all of my holiday time. And another trip outside of the UK will mean I cannot get my passport till 2023. Right now, I am supposed to get it in December of this year, and her wedding is in July.
Fuck.
I feel so horrible about this, particularly because I know no one can be there for her the way I can be, just like nobody could have been there for me at my wedding the way she was. We help each other with everything. We help each other with everything, and we are completely selfless in our relationship, and we often go the extra mile and do extra things for each other. If reverse was the case, I would understand her circumstances and be okay with her not coming to my wedding, but she is typically not as understanding as I am. One time she got upset with me because I couldn't fly down to Nigeria for her law school graduation. It makes no sense for me to travel and jeopardize my UK citizenship My lawyers have advised against it since I have waited 10 years to receive it. Please advise me on how I can break the news to her and break her heart. And also, how can I get over the guilt I feel? Thanks, Fifi.
Y'all put a lot on us sometimes. I'm here to tell you that my life is in absolute shambles and I don't know left from right. So let's start there.
Listen, y'all know who y'all are asking for advice. Two very human people. So,
what do you do about your fucking citizenship? All right, let me just reach into my mental Rolodex. Like, I mean, here's the thing. Like, when this started, I assumed that it was going to be for some really shallow, silly reason. Like, you didn't like the dress or you don't like her husband or fiance or whatever. I don't really know what you're supposed to do here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. This is like, you're really stuck in like a tough situation here. Because 2023, goddamn, you know what I mean? Like, we already been waiting for like life, just in general. So, I mean, I feel like the only thing that you can really do in this moment is talk to your friend about it and be realistic. I feel like, is she going to be upset? Is she going to be disappointed? Fuck yes. Like, how can she not be?
Right.
Your best friends, she's fucking getting married. Literally everyone wants their best friend to be at their wedding or whatever. Bitch, even if you go down to the courthouse, your BFF will probably be there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, that in itself is a bummer. Plus the fact that I brought your ass Treasure Planet when your motherfucking ass got married. Like, is she gonna be bummed? Hell yes. But it's something here that's like, I don't know what the compromise could be if there was one. You know, y'all gonna have to try and get really, really creative because I don't know really, you know, I mean, I feel like the best case scenario would be that you tell her and that she's bummed but understands and that y'all try to plan something to do in replacement of that, whether it's like y'all do some, you know, some like separate friends wedding edition that would probably be in like a Tracy Oliver written film or something fun, like something that y'all do like off to the sides in replacement of whatever I don't know, because you know this one sucks and I totally get like sometimes, like I just said, y'all be like in your head about conversations that I feel like don't need to be as difficult as you expect that they would be. But this is a conversation that's going to suck. It's going to suck for you. It's definitely going to suck for her. But I don't know what you could do. If somebody else has any ideas, I hope that they can shoot them to you as soon as possible. But this sounds like something that your friend's going to have to understand and contend with. And she's going to be bummed about it. And if she decides that your ass is on ice for a bit, then I think that's something you have to take with you know, with the way things fall, I guess. But
right. I mean,
I don't know what you're supposed to do.
It kind of feels like this is a risk everybody took because y'all participated in a week-long wedding in the middle of the pandemic. So it kind of
thank you for bringing it back to that. I didn't even remember that part of it.
It just kind of seems like all you have to do, it's not like you're choosing to not, I mean, you are choosing because you could decide to delay your passport by another 2 years. But I don't know that that's a reasonable thing to expect somebody to choose. Also, don't really understand why you want a UK passport over a Nigerian passport. I don't know if there's a real benefit.
Yeah, I don't know
there because I don't know about the UK laws or whatever. So I don't really understand why you want a UK passport, but also it clearly matters a lot to you. You've been waiting a decade for it. So yeah, I would say to her, hey girl, so the UK has this rule about how long you can be out of the country in a given year when you're waiting on your passport. And because I caught COVID after the wedding and had to stay in Nigeria, I have used up all my time. And so I don't have the 2 weeks to come to Nigeria to help you with your wedding. Like, I think you just have to lay it out as this is the law. And so because we had my week-long wedding, I caught COVID and so I used up all my time. Like, I kind of feel like this maybe she didn't know that there was only a certain amount of time you could be out of the country. But then again, if this is your best friend, then it probably came up at some point over the past decade. So, I mean, I think if it was me, I would just lay it out there in a very factual manner like that. And kind of, if she don't naturally come to the conclusion, then I'll bring her there during the course of the conversation. But I mean, it's either that or she's going to ask you to delay it by 2 years. And then you have to ask yourself, is that really worth it? Again, I don't know your reasons for wanting this passport.
Right. I was going to say, like, you bring up a good point in the fact that I don't really know either. Like, I don't know the significance of one passport over the other or how any of that stuff works. So I'm just basing this off of you saying I've been waiting a decade for this and the fact that 2023 is not exactly around the corner. But yeah, maybe it would be a thing where she would be like, girl, then push it back. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I had a whole coming to America wedding for you, bitch. Like, what are you talking about? So I don't really know, like, if it is something that is unreasonable. It feels like it might be, but again, like, if it is something that can wait, I guess you got to, like, weigh that shit out. Because again, like Crystal said, maybe the wedding situation didn't need to be a week long. Like, maybe steps could have been, but
I mean, there are so many people having their wedding anyway. So many people.
Right, exactly.
So don't think I'm singling you out, but yeah, a week's worth of festivities. I would have been shocked if y'all didn't catch COVID. So I'm not surprised by that. I would just say, this was the gamble that we took, and unfortunately it did not work out in our favor. And so this is where I'm at right now. And if it's like you need a UK passport to work or some shit, then okay. But if it's something else, then you might really have to decide, like, is this worth delaying for another 18 to 24 months to be there for my best friend's wedding? Assuming that she's not American, so this is not her starter marriage. And, you might want to be there. You might want to be there for this one because she plans on really making it work.
That's a good point. So, how much do you believe in this union?
Right. Exactly. How much do you believe in these two and their holy matrimony?
Yeah, I mean, she's gonna be over it, girl. Like, there's no way that she's not gonna be pissed. How pissed? Who she's more pissed at? You or the government? Like, all of that can only tell in the conversation.
But definitely tell her sooner than later. Do not wait.
Yes,
this wedding's supposed to be in July, girl. It's February. You need to tell her before Valentine's Day.
What are you talking about?
Hurry up and say something. So please. Best of luck to you. Let us know how that goes. I am deeply curious. Our last letter this week comes from Andrea, who says, I left my husband in 2019 after 17 years together, and that was something I had been trying to do for a long time.
Good for you.
I refused to give that man another ounce of my energy, and I told myself I was going to use my singleness to focus on me and heal from the mess I endured for my whole adult life with that man. Fast forward 10 months. A man walked into my store and we locked eyes immediately.
What the fuck?
I tried to ignore the energy I felt, but I know he felt it too. Because by the time he left, he had my number. It was a gamble because, we were both wearing a mask and that could have went in the wrong direction.
What the Terry McMillan are you talking about?
But it didn't. We spent weeks talking on the phone, getting to know each other. And it's so amazing how in tune we are. After a few weeks went by. Why did you have to say it like that? After a few weeks went by, we decided we wanted to see each other in person again and just certified everything we've said to each other.
Yeah, okay.
I began to gush about this man to my sister, but she said, "You doing too much. And you are not healed yet."
Well,
I know I'm not completely healed, but that's a process that could take literal years. What I do know is that my old man is not my new man.
Hello.
This new man has been everything I wanted plus more. So I could never confuse the two.
Well,
I didn't think a man like him was possible to find where I live. The quality of niggas around here guaranteed I'd never be in a relationship again. My question is, do you think it's possible to start a new healthy relationship while healing from a long-term tumultuous relationship? Love you both, Andrea.
Okay, so follow me. Because
follow me, camera.
I don't know exactly where I'm going, but I feel like I'm going to get there.
Okay.
Now, I hate Twizzlers. Black, red, regardless. I hate them. I think that they're just one of the most pointless things that you could eat. Now, if I was eating shit every day for 17 years, and then someone gave me a Twizzler instead of shit to eat, I would probably be like, it is rich. The flavor. Oh my God. Like, this is such a decadent treat. Like, I would be probably over the moon when I ate something that typically I would find vile because I was dealing with shit for the majority of my goddamn life. So anything at this point is probably going to be mind-blowing. So I just want you to consider what I'm talking about in this situation here. Everybody always in early situations in this honeymoon-ass phase and stuff like that, everyone always thinks that that person they're infatuated with is the most amazing person, that they fell from the sky and landed into your lap and they were brought there, by way of God, mating your two souls together or whatever the fuck. And then that wears off and you find out who each other actually is. And you either realize we work well together, yay, we win, or you don't. So like, I will say it's realistic to be like, it may take many more years for me to completely heal from my past relationship. But in the meantime, mama needs some love. I just ask you to be honest and be real with yourself and the fact that this nigga is fully a rebound. And that is okay. You know what I mean? Like, that is a normal thing. It happens to lots of us. It is okay. Have your time. Have your good time. I just don't put a single goddamn egg in that basket. I'm talking about zero. Okay? Have your fun. Watch the Netflix shit or don't watch whatever the fuck is on the Netflix shit. And then go back to wherever the fuck it is that you came from. And thank God that you have someone in your space during a Peter Pan who can, who can trade that sort of vibe with you or through Zoom or FaceTime or wherever the fuck y'all communicate it, but I agree with your sister.
Same.
And God bless her. You know what I'm saying? Be safe out here in the streets with your feelings, bitch. Like, not after 17 years of whatever the fuck.
Right.
Stanley's Bornak.
Right. 17 years of a ridiculous, abusive, absurd, whatever else relationship and all this. And she did put in a little PS that she is in therapy, but that they haven't gotten to this yet.
Oh, okay.
Which makes me...
Work!
Which honestly makes me side with your sister even more. Because if you're in therapy right now and y'all haven't gotten to this yet, that means you're working through some very real shit.
Okay? Like, this gives me, she's still in the origin story.
Yeah. And I understand, sister. Really do.
Yeah.
And I think right now, like Kid Fury said, like, I do get the urge for companionship, especially during the pandemic. Because it's fucking awful out here right now.
It sucks.
It's really bad out here right now. But horrible. But you have some really important healing to do. And so you have to be honest with yourself right now. Because Kid Fury is right. Like, you definitely should not be investing no real feelings into this. You definitely should not be putting no eggs in the basket, per se, when it comes to this man. But by the tone of your letter, I think you already fallen for him. Yeah. And I just don't want you to take a bite thinking you getting a Snickers when it's really a Twizzlers.
You just brought it full circle, and this is why we do a show together. There it is.
I just don't want you to think that, sister, because Twizzlers is, slightly flavored plastic.
Yeah. It is. It really is sweet plastic.
And you can do better than sweet plastic. And if he is really a Snickers of a nigga, then he'll still be a Snickers of a nigga when you work through your shit.
Amen.
That won't change.
This is the truth on today.
If you're worried about losing him, then he's not the man for you, because the man for you will understand that you need a lot of very real, very deep time to yourself right now. And so if he's not okay with that, then maybe you need to be okay with him just being dick and, you know, somebody to lay up and watch 90 Day Fiancé with. And that's that, you know. But if you have to be real with yourself again. Don't say to yourself, oh, I can handle that. That ain't no problem. If you really can't handle that, and that really is going to be a problem.
Gotta be honest with yourself.
You do,
harsh and honest.
Yes.
You might want to pull out a composition book, start making some diagrams, some do's and don'ts.
Pros and cons. I do love a list.
Yeah. Same. I suggest you invest in some paper, something. Start making some charts.
Open that notepad on your phone even.
Absolutely.
Make a list about this man and be real with yourself about your emotions and the things you are going through. And
take your time.
Yeah. Take your time, sis. You said 17 years in that marriage.
Years.
And then you met this man 10 months later. My sweet summer child.
Oh my.
No, girl. Please do not do it.
You are still that woman, that person that was married for 17 years.
Right.
Like, you still in the front lawn. You haven't really left the property yet, girl. You just sort of stepped out of this life that you've been, you know what I mean? Like, give yourself a little time to just be you and to like reevaluate everything that you want, don't want, can tolerate, ain't gonna tolerate, all of those other things before you start investing into another relationship. I don't give a fuck how much fun you're having, girl. Have fun with you and like reestablishing that and getting all of that together, learning all of the lessons, completing all of that shit that you learned from this past relationship before you go start investing in time in some other, because what you don't want is to end up in a situation where you fall on your face and end up heartbroken with this new nigga 10 months after or whatever, after, 17 years with somebody that you can't stand.
Right.
Like, just nothing wrong with having your fun and dating and being cute and, watching 90 Day Fiancé or whatever, love after lockup, but just take your fucking time.
Mm-hmm. Please do. And take care of yourself, because you already did a major thing in leaving this relationship and you have a therapist. So like, remember that girl who said, I'm going to take this time in my singleness to focus on me and work through my trauma. Remember that girl. Because she had it.
Yeah.
She had the right idea. And horny you might be talking right now.
And just like you said a second ago, like, you can do that work and come out on the other side of that and be like, oh, this nigga is still here.
Right there. Being a fucking peach.
I mean?
Right there. If he's a peach, he's going to be a peach.
So there you go.
Okay, sister. Good luck to you in your relationship, or in what you decide to do about this relationship. That wraps up the questions for this week. Send yours to asktheread@gmail.com and we'll be right back. Hey, y'all, there's 1,000 reasons why protecting your home matters to you. For me, first and foremost, it's because of these packages that are supposed to be delivered. And every now and then they used to come up missing. It was something that deeply irritated me. And that's why I invested in a Ring system. Ring has security products for every corner of your home, inside and out. And best of all, you can see it all in one simple app. So with Ring, you can keep an eye on your home no matter where you are, right from your phone. If somebody stops by or if something's going on, Ring lets you know. You can see and speak to whoever's at your door from anywhere with video doorbells, and keep an eye on every corner of your house with easy to install indoor and outdoor cams. You can protect your whole home with Ring Alarm, which is a powerful, affordable, whole home security system that you can easily install yourself. Like I said, I have several Ring cameras in my home. Some of them have solar panels so that they literally charge themselves through the sunlight and I don't have to worry with taking the battery out. Others are indoor cameras, but regardless, if I want to see what's going on in any part of my house, or inside or outside, I just open the app and take a look at it, review my alerts, anything else. It could not be easier. You can get a special offer on the Ring Welcome Kit at ring.com/read. It comes with Ring's Video Doorbell 3 and Chime Pro, the perfect way to start your Ring experience. Again, go to ring.com/READ. That's ring.com/read. Check them out. I love my ring system. And let's move on.
So this one's going out to all my plant-based baddies. If you're sick of the same old boring breakfast, we can get into Just Egg because it scrambles, cooks, and tastes just like eggs, the ones you may be used to, but it's made from plants. Just Egg is protein-packed, but with less saturated fat and no cholesterol. So you go ahead and cook it in an omelet, scrambled French toast, whatever your fancy breakfast is supposed to look like that you're going to share with us on the gram. And you don't have to worry about, the things that you might be concerned with conventional eggs. Just Egg is apparently also better for the planet. They use 93% fewer carbon emissions and 98% less water than a conventional egg. Apparently takes 53 gallons of water to produce a single egg. Okay, so I know got lots of friends around me who are all into the plant-based dietary things like that. Mm-hmm. And it's always interesting to try new substitutions for things, alternative stuff that you can go back to your friends group and talk about how much better you are than all of us. You can find Just Egg pretty much anywhere at most grocery stores, including Whole Foods, Kroger, Amazon Prime, and now Instacart. Just Egg is a better egg for you and your family. Shout out to them. They're a great company with a great mission. So try Just Egg when you want to scramble something and have a little fun in the morning time or in the midnight time, whenever it is that you want to. Now let's go back to the show. Okay, so it is now time for the read. I will say 3 quick things. Mm-hmm. 1, everything doesn't need a cinematic universe. My word. I understand that Marvel has made a shit ton of money at the box office for over a decade or whatever at this point with their cinematic universe. And since so many people have been trying to, jump on the bandwagon, apparently, DC did their thing, which they have been stumbling and falling all over themselves with for the past
Wolverine.
few years. No, but
Wolverine's not DC.
Sure ain't.
Oh wow.
And
okay, Batman.
Yes, Batman and Superman.
Ew.
There you go. So those movies have mostly been awful. They did like some shit with like those old, is it MGM? Like those classic monsters like Frankenstein and the Wolfman, the Invisible Man. They did like one with the Mummy and Tom Cruise. It was awful. And I think like they were trying to cross all of those movies together at some point. They are doing it with like Godzilla and King Kong.
Oh,
that
Lord.
first Godzilla.
No, thank you.
The first Godzilla movie that came out, well, not the first one, but like the one that came out with Aaron Taylor Johnson in it, I want to say like 2014, was actually a really good Godzilla movie. The sequel, not so much. And then that Kong movie that had Samuel Jackson in it was all over the place, but it was pretty. So but again, it's all in an effort to just make a whole bunch of movie. And I feel money. And I feel like they're doing the same thing now with Hanna-Barbera cartoons. There's like a Tom and Jerry movie that's supposed to come out this year that's like half animation, half live action,
what?
like on some Who Framed Roger Rabbit shit.
Oh, okay.
With Chloe Grace Moretz, and I forgot who else is in it. And it looks genuinely terrible. Like it looks awful. And I think that I think that they're doing the same thing with like, they're going to try and probably, I don't know, mesh that shit with like the Space Jam movie coming out and probably the Flintstones.
Please don't.
Like, girl, stop. Like everything doesn't need for you to take shit from the fucking 60s and the 80s and then jam it all the fuck together. We can't even go to the goddamn movies. So like, slow down.
Please.
I'm like, fuck. Or at least make the fucking movies good. At least, like, one thing I feel like a lot of y'all are missing out on that Marvel did, much like the person that we just spoke to in the letter section. You ain't taking your time. You're trying to rush to your Avengers. And that's not what the fuck they did, okay? They took their time with several films to establish what the fuck was going on. So by the time they did this crossover, big jam-packed all-star thing, it was like exciting because we knew who all of these motherfuckers were, or most of them were, and had experience. Y'all are just trying to throw all of this shit to the wall. It doesn't even matter if it's written well, directed well, shot well, anything. And then it's like, hey, guess what? We got 12 more. Girl, we didn't want to see the first one. So I just want some of y'all to think about that. Moving on. I think that Frito-Lay and Shaggy owe the entire world, and specifically Jamaica, an apology. And Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis. I don't know if you saw that Cheetos commercial that aired for the Super Bowl.
No.
That was basically like Ashton Kutcher confronting his real life wife about like who ate some Cheetos or something. And then they go into this Caucasian version of Shaggy's It Wasn't Me, featuring real life black ass Shaggy.
No.
And it is the most cringe. I wanted to pluck my eyes out of mine own head. My God. Like, and I know that they gave Shaggy bankrolls for this. It's a Super Bowl commercial.
Right.
But really, this is what we're doing? And I don't even eat Cheetos like that. I don't give a fuck what y'all think, flaming hot or not. I don't even really fuck with Cheetos like that. I haven't really since like high school, college, whatever. But I do enjoy a Dorito, and I will eat a Funyun. And they're all under the same goddamn branch. And so honestly, I feel like someone needs to come up to the table and answer for whatever the fuck that was. Because I know it was a white person's idea, and I know that they all came together with dollar signs in front of this black man who God knows when the last time Shaggy's ass been in Jamaica. But that's neither here nor there. I feel like so many, not even just Jamaicans, I feel like the whole Caribbean and allies and the people who, the women who be braiding hair in the airport, and everybody who has ever enjoyed that song in its original era, I feel like you owe an apology, because that commercial was one of the worst things that I have ever seen in my 33 years. My God. And I know that like a lot of the commercials for the Super Bowl are cringe. They're all just like, look at this famous person that we got in a commercial to advertise like whatever the fuck, Michelin tires or whatever app. Like that's all that it is. Like, look at, you know, what Ed Sheeran is pretending to buy. Fine. But this is what we're doing? That 70s show reggae? Fuck y'all.
I did not see that commercial.
You're better off not having to. And the girls are going to put it in your mentions.
They are.
And I want you to ignore it every time. Okay. Because let me tell you something. Even as a black American queen yourself, who may not even have ever been to Jamaica, you will also be fucking disgusted. I want you to know that you do not ever need to watch that in your life. Ever. It is horrible. Horrible. Okay. Horrible, abysmal, violent, and disgusting. Last but not least, again, I don't have children, so before parents, y'all come at me, I don't care. And like, I'm not gonna see it anyway, let's be honest. I was thinking back to my upbringing, and I just want to encourage some of y'all, maybe if you are doing this, to consider not comparing your children to their peers. Please don't be that parent that's like, why can't you be like your cousin such and such's kid down the block who's, you know, on the honor roll? Why can't you be such and such and play, you know, varsity football like such and such's kid? Please don't be that person, because it really does not help your kids at all. I don't really know why you think it might. And all it really does is just make them feel like shit and build this sort of awkward relationship between someone that they may be friends with or related to. It's really pointless. It helps absolutely no one. And I feel like a lot of y'all probably do it not thinking or realizing how fucking pointless and harmful it can be. Yeah. So I just want to say again, because nothing but a Yorkie to my name, right? And hoping to keep it that way for a while at least. Yeah. So, yeah, but I just want to say, like, it really doesn't help. Can't think of how that ever affected me, besides making me feel like shit and making me feel like my cousins that I just wanted to run around and listen to vulgar music with and be bad. That they were all like better than me and I was the bad egg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that affects you into your adulthood, and it can affect the way that you relate to people and all kinds of stuff. It just does nobody any good. That's it. I'm done.
Well, thank you. That's entirely too relatable.
It's like, what are you doing?
Like, it didn't. I hope now we can all look back and see how that didn't help, but okay.
It never helped anyone. It never helped anyone.
Did not.
Nobody.
Did not.
Like, what the fuck are you supposed to do with that? Are you supposed to, like, go and then study your fucking cousin's, like, day-to-day routine? And, like...
Why can't I be her? I don't know. How come y'all can't be her parents?
And you could never say that. I could never say that back because I wouldn't be alive today to do this goddamn podcast for you niggas. I could never say that back.
But that's
I could
the real
never
question.
ever say that shit back. But that is the real goddamn inquiry, bitch. Why can't you be them niggas' parents?
What are they doing different over there? Let's discuss.
Well, I guess we all just who we are then, huh?
Okay. Well, yeah. Real quick, I want to talk this week about this white boy who got killed behind some dumb shit.
What?
So, you've seen these prank videos on YouTube, right? Where these kids pull pranks on random strangers and they get lots and lots of views. I think most of them. Yeah, right. First of all, as soon as I heard about them, immediately I was like, don't show me this because I hate pranks. I always have. I am the only person I know who was a kid and thought April's Fool Day was childish. I was always like, y'all need to take that little baby dumb shit the fuck away. I never fucked with April Fool's Day. I do not. Because how you gonna deliberately trick me and then laugh at my reaction? I don't find mirth or glee or joy in that. I don't. I hate pranks. So from the very beginning, I said, don't show me no prank video. Because that's just going to piss me off. And after a couple of people died behind prank videos, YouTube officially banned them, I think a couple of years ago.
Okay.
So most of the prank videos, you know, the ones that are really popular, especially, you just kind of assume everybody is in on it and acting for the sake of the video. However, It was just a matter of time before somebody got popped for real behind because what YouTube has specifically banned is the violent ones, the ones that are like pretending to rob somebody or having a gun or something like not just any prank. Of course not. That's probably 15% of all YouTube content.
Right.
But the ones where somebody could think, hey, my life is in danger and I'm going to kill you because of it. YouTube, Google very smartly banned those. However, 20-year-old Timothy Wilkes and his friend decided to go for it anyway. Don't know if they did it for the gram, for the talk, for the tube. Not really sure which platform they planned to host this footage on, but he and his friend approached a group of people outside of a trampoline park in Nashville, Tennessee, and they were holding very large knives, pretending like they were going to rob this group of people. And in return, one of the men who was in that group, who did not know it was a prank, opened fire and murdered that motherfucker straight like that. And said to the police, I had no idea that this was supposed to be a prank. I thought my life was in danger and the lives of my friends was in danger. And so I did what the fuck I had to do. As of right now, that 23-year-old has not been arrested. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't. Yeah. And I hope that those of you who think that it's cute to do stupid shit for clicks or views or subscribers or whatever else, I really hope y'all take a second thought before you do something so dumb as to roll up on a group of people you do not know with deadly weapons in your hands and expect anything other than your swift murder. Like, you would almost have to be a young white boy to think that this was something you could get away with. Not ever, not one day in my whole nigga life have I ever thought, let me take a butcher knife and run up on a group of strangers and pretend like I'm gonna rob them. Why would I do some stupid shit like that?
If they hadn't shot you, what would you have expected their response to be when they found out it was a prank? Were they supposed to be like, haha? Were they supposed to
listen?
What? Yeah.
I don't know what you were thinking. I mean, this young man has passed away. Really don't know, though, what you or your friend could have possibly been thinking. I don't know what circumstance you thought was going to come from this situation. And speaking of people who could not foresee their circumstances, I also want to talk real quick about Tessica Brown, aka Gorilla Glue Girl.
Oh, I have not read about this yet. I've only heard about like
my slur.
The headline. Yeah.
So Tessica, who I believe lives in, she's definitely from Louisiana. That accent gives it away. But when I first saw her video, I tried really hard not to watch it because she was very clearly wearing like some gray blue contacts, and you know how I feel about those.
I do.
Yeah. But when I finally did break down and watch this video, she was saying how she has had her hair in this same ponytail for a month. And that is because when she laid her ponytail, she used a setting spray like a lot of the girls do to get that super slick look or to do cute designs with your edges or whatever else. However, normally when we do that, we use a styling gel or one of the Got To Be products, because Got To Be, baby, that Got To Be freezing spray will lay anything. You can lay a whole fucking wig with that spray. It is incredible, and it is formulated for the hair. Meaning, if you want to lay a wig at 6 a.m. and go enjoy your day, come home, gently remove it, take a shower, and go to bed, you can do that because it's meant for that. Tessica, however, had ran out of her Got To Be spray, and so she grabbed a can of Gorilla Glue.
No, she didn't.
My slur, yes, she did. Tessica thought,
this is not why y'all are calling her that.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I don't know what I expected.
Tessica thought that she could lay her hair real quick
with Gorilla Glue?
And not just Gorilla Glue, but the heavy duty spray adhesive designed to bind together all manners of materials like metal and wood.
Yes. Like
Gorilla Glue could reconstruct a splintered tree. Gorilla Glue is not for your fucking hair. This is very obvious when you look at the can.
Oh my God.
Front and back.
Okay?
No.
Is she all right?
She isn't. She's not okay. Tessica.
Okay, let me stop.
Tessica said that she turned to the internet because she did not know what else to do. The internet made it very clear that she was in a dire emergency and needed immediate medical care because, again, this happened a month ago. She says she has tried to wash it over 15 times. She has consulted family and friends.
Wait.
Meanwhile, she thought she could do her hair with Gorilla Glue, come home, wash it out, and that would be that.
So she has been dealing with this situation for a month.
Yes. Over a month at this point. Finally went to the ER. The good doctors and nurses at the ER told her it was going to take them 20 hours to remove this from her head with a, horrible process of using acetone and saline water. And she asked if she could be released to do it herself at home. Probably for multiple reasons. Number one being the cost of staying in the hospital for 20 hours and having them do all that.
Right.
Plus whatever pain meds and anything else. They throw all that kind of shit onto a hospital bill. But
I mean, acetone and saline sound like you can just go scoop that up.
Also because, right. Exactly. And they sent her home with some acetone pads and a prayer because she asked for it. Also, though, personally, I would not want to spend time in a hospital if I did not have to right now, given COVID. So
facts. Yeah.
All of that is true. However, since this glue has been luxuriating on her scalp for over a month, it's really past the point of a DIY situation. And I'm sure the people at the hospital were so busy that they were like, oh, somebody want to go home? Okay.
Yeah, okay. Go on, get out.
Go on in. All right. Because normally we would argue with you about it, but we have things to do.
They passed her at them past. They tossed them past across the room and told her goodbye.
They did. And so she tried to, she posted another video of her sister trying to help her with these acetone pads at home. And she was literally cringing in pain from the acetone touching her, which says to me something else is going on, probably some kind of infection or chemical burn or something. And sister needs to make her way back to the hospital, and we might need to call an anesthesiologist to put her under, or to give her a local anesthetic, something so that the pain is soothed long enough for them to get that shit out of her head, or at least to loosen it up, because she said that it's literally like cement on her head. And I believe that the Gorilla Glue formula is like water activated. So every time she put water on it, it just increased the bond of the glue.
Oh, girl, what? That Gorilla Glue is your DNA now. Like that's you.
And
you were together.
She said on this radio show interview that she wanted to radio. Yeah, Toronto of all the places. I just knew it was going to be somebody more ratchet than that. Toronto radio. And she said that
oh my God.
It is. So first of all, her hair is so bonded to her scalp, and it has such a layer on it that she can't even put clippers to it to shave it all off. But also, she's still interested in saving her hair. And I just feel like at this point, you need to be worried about saving your scalp.
Yeah, your head, girl.
Because you might have to be worried about skin grafts at this point. And God only knows what 30 plus days of that shit being on your scalp is doing to your body.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gorilla Glue had to put out a statement. Gorilla Glue said, "We are so sorry to hear about this trending topic."
Okay, I'm sorry. No, shit, no.
And this is crazy because our product is not for use in or on hair. And our label says explicitly, do not swallow or get in eyes, skin, or clothing. Because hair grows from skin, we figured you should be able to make the connection.
Wait, when Candy on the reunion said, "This is crazy."
Yes, this is crazy. Teary fucking eyed. This is crazy. And
this is crazy.
They said straight up, this is for your arts and crafts, okay? This is for putting the bumper back on your mom's car when you took it out and you wasn't supposed to and had a little accident. This is to, again, assemble wood frames. Like, this is not... This is for lamination. This is not for your hair. And it's very explicitly and clearly not for the body. And then they ended it with, "Glad to see you went to the doctor. Good luck." Leave them the fuck out of it. TMZ reported.
Gorilla Glue literally came out and was like, "So girl, I don't know what the fuck you want us to say, bitch. We already done put that shit on the packages. Like, this is why we always have these dumbass things, directions that tell you to do shit that you clearly should not do. Because niggas like this exist.
This is why they can't say it right now. This is why it says it right now. And even in her own video, she admits that she used this product because she ran out of the other one and she just thought, oh, glue. Okay.
Gorilla Glue? Gorilla Glue? There's some stuff like in makeup and hair and stuff that I've seen that like uses home stuff that to me already is like I've seen people use like Sharpies in their makeup.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
not supposed to do that either.
The queens put like use like glue sticks to cover their eyebrows when they want to.
They do.
So like even that be like that's like even when I watch it, I'm like, what? But that's like Elmer's,
but at least
kindergarten glue, right?
A lot of people put Elmer's glue in their hair or whatever. That shit is also non-toxic. So yeah, it washes right out because ultimately it's for kids and it's supposed to. Right. Are you supposed to
Gorilla
shoot
glue is for like
no? But if you use it to lay down your brows so that you could draw on fake brows, you're going to be okay at the end of the night because you're not deep throating a glue stick.
You using shit that motherfuckers use to build their baby a treehouse.
Yeah.
As something to
sticks.
like,
the thing that all the dirty white people use to give themselves fucking dreadlocks and spiky hair and shit when we was in high school.
well,
When I realized white boys was using Elmer's glue to do that shit,
literally glue and dirt.
never been more disgusted, but that made more sense than Gorilla Glue.
It actually did. Why would you do this?
Why would you do
Tessica?
this? Why, Tessica? And I have empathy for her because she appears to be, like when her sister was trying to take it out with that acetone, she appeared to be in a great deal of pain.
I'd imagine.
And I don't want sis to suffer. I don't want to have long-term health consequences or anything like that. She has started a
Right.
GoFundMe. She done racked up over $10,000 already on the GoFundMe.
Okay.
TMZ said that she's allegedly, talking to a lawyer about potentially maybe suing Gorilla Glue, which...
For what?
Because it doesn't explicitly say hair on the can.
When I tell you that Gorilla Glue's attorney will kick that goddamn courtroom door open with a smile, they would love that trial.
It's really not making sense to me. However, I don't even really care about that part. I just don't know how a grown-ass woman, because Tessica,
Wow.
if you think Tessica is just some goofy teenager, Gen Z, doing something for TikTok,
I imagine she was
Tessica
like
is 40 years old.
You are lying in my face.
Tessica is a mother, I believe, of multiple children. Tessica allegedly has a daycare called Tessica's Little Angels.
Oh, that's a cute name.
It's an adorable name. However, if you think I'm dropping my baby off at the house of somebody who thought that she could just spray Gorilla Glue in her hair right quick.
I hate that I'm laughing because I feel bad too.
Because it's absurd. It's absurd.
And of course she is in pain, but it is absurd.
It is absurd. There's just no way an adult, nobody would expect a reasonable adult in their sound mind to do this. Nobody, sis.
And the fact that she's talking about, you saying she's talking about trying to save her hair or whatever, girl, what?
Why?
That's God blessings if it grows back at some point. You need to be making sure, figuring out how to save the head that you have and the skin on it.
You need to be trying to avoid getting skin grafts.
Wow. I cannot believe this. That is not what I expected this story to be.
I really
about.
hope that, thanks to all of her supporters on GoFundMe, she is able to get the medical care that she needs.
Yeah. And
that she has a swift and complete recovery, because it does sound like hell. But I also really don't know what a grown ass woman was thinking. I don't know what your grown ass was thinking when you did that, sis.
That's
because
so sad.
An extra 3 seconds of thought would have said, you know what? A laid ponytail is not worth this. And she had
Gorilla Glue.
She had to have had the foresight to put gloves on. Because anybody who has ever laid a ponytail knows that you can't do it without putting your hands on the hair. You can't. You simply will not get that clean ass look that she had. And don't get me wrong, the ponytail was cute as fuck. But she had to have had the foresight to put gloves on. Because otherwise you would have mangled your fucking hands. So if you had to put gloves on to apply it, then sis, it was not going to rinse out when you came home at the end of the night. And then that's my final question. Where in the hell was you going that you needed your ponytail to be Gorilla Glue sharp? Where in the hell was you going? And how did you not have no other hair products that could have substituted? No gel? No less jam?
You could run out and grab something?
No, and who knows? Maybe she had to leave in the next 20 minutes and she needed to get that ponytail together. I really don't know what led her to making this decision, but just like young Timothy, who ran up on somebody with a butcher knife and found out what was what that day, sister has found out that when Gorilla Glue says strong adhesive, heavy duty, used for building cars and spaceships.
Yeah, they mean it.
Do not allow to come into contact with skin. When you put it on your hair, you're automatically letting it come into contact with your skin, especially when you are brushing it into your scalp.
Real fact, I was afraid of Gorilla Glue when I was little.
As you should have been.
My dad had like one of them racks in the back room of our house that had like his tools and stuff on it. And like in the same little space, he had like these little things of Gorilla Glue. And I would see sometimes there because that's the same room that our deep freezer was in. So when I wanted like a popsicle or whatever dumb shit, like I would be back there.
Right.
And I would always look at that shit and be terrified of it because I was always afraid. Like I had this like fear that if I ever opened a thing of Gorilla Glue, my hands would be stuck together for the rest of my life. Just from opening it. Like I was legit afraid of it.
Yes.
When I was a child.
Yes. And I mean, I get that I was a nerd of a kid who literally would read anything. I would read anything, but you don't even have to read the small print on the back of the Gorilla Glue can to know it's not something to fuck with. And Tessica knew that. She didn't grab that by accident. She didn't think it was Gorilla Snot, which is another hair holding gel type product, which yes, I have never used it because it's called Gorilla Snot and the word snot is disgusting.
Ew.
Yeah, it's a disgusting word and I literally will not buy the product. I don't care how good it is because of the nasty ass name. But she did not mix up those two products. That Gorilla Snot don't even come in a spray, I don't think. She did it.
It's green.
Did it on purpose. And now here we are with the whole internet tearing each other apart behind this story and people trying to find the balance between when you hear the details, it is extremely funny. And also, I hope you are okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really don't know. Really don't understand how your ponytail meant that much to you, but I hope you recover.
I hope it is something that you two can look back on and laugh at.
One day, yeah.
Because I truly don't want you to think that I don't give a fuck about your well-being. This shit is actually giving me anxiety. I, again, don't know what I thought you were about to talk about, but it was not a grown woman Gorilla Gluing her hair down or whatever. So, sis, I truly... And the point that you made again about the hospital, like... Of course, like, girl, you talk about two things I probably got in my cabinet already versus paying you $50,000 to be here. Girl, like, yeah. So I do hope that she can get the bills covered.
You need medical attention. If it hurts so much that your sister can't do it at home, then they need to. You need some very strong drugs that you cannot get down to the CVS.
And you're right. Like, what if you have like some kind of infection or whatever? What your sister gonna do about that?
Put some tea tree and baking soda and make it paste.
Probably.
I mean, and that might work. But shit, you gotta get the shit out your head first. You gotta get it out your head first.
You have to get it off first.
Oh my God. Tessica.
Oh no, friends.
Yeah. So
what?
Let this week's lesson be to just think about it and then think once more. Just think about it. Like Timothy and Tessica should have done. Think about it once and then think about it once more.
Yeah, that whole pranking shit, like, girl.
Foolish.
Unfortunate ending, but I've never understood these pranks that y'all be pulling on, like, random unsuspecting people. No. You don't have, like, a production. You don't have anybody, you know, and then the pranks that you're doing is not like, oh, I accidentally dropped the $100 bill. It's not $100 bill or something, you know, like whatever random, dumb, harmless shit that would be on Ellen. Y'all like actually running up on strangers and like making them feel like their lives are in danger. That it's not funny. I remember there was once a video on like, what is that fucking show? America's Funniest Home Video. One of them shows once where somebody was doing like a Halloween prank where they were like sitting in a chair, and then you were supposed to think the chair was a scarecrow or something. I don't know. I know one of y'all will find this video. But this black man walked up to the door for the trick-or-treat shit or whatever, and they jumped out the chair like to scare him or whatever and got punched square dead in the middle of their fucking face. And he immediately was like, oh shit, like, you know what I'm saying? But like,
that's your bad. That's your bad.
That is your bad. What the fuck do you expect me to do? Die? Like,
exactly. Maybe I will stop playing games with people and stop playing games with yourself.
Right. If you're gonna do that prank shit, do it with your sibling or your lover, like all of the other annoying prank channels.
Listen, because when I tell you Lady Tessica in her first video said, I ran out of my got to be spray, so I grabbed the Gorilla Glue. Don't do this, y'all. Big mistake. I just wonder, who is this cautionary tale for? Not a single one of us was in danger of doing this. Who is it for? When I tell you, I would have used that 99-cent jar of gel on my head for my ponytail before I grabbed the Gorilla Glue. I would have just had a ponytail that wasn't fucking laid. I would have just stayed home and been like, can't make it to wherever I need this slick ass ponytail. Like, but it's not about me. Clearly, Tessica's a different person and she made different choices that I am certain she regrets. So
you are right. Like, where were you going, Tessica? Like, why was it that vital that you were like, I have nothing but this fucking super adhesive that is used to build communities. Like, I have nothing else, but damn it, a fucking laid ponytail is vital. There's nothing less that can happen. Like, what was that important?
I'm pretty sure you could build a brick wall with Gorilla Glue.
like
it is an absurd product and it bills itself as such.
Cause it's needed, girl. Like, some people need shit to stick together and stay that way. That's why they have that glue. So things stick together and stay that way. That's why your shit has stayed that way, girl. Because you use this shit.
God bless Tessica. If you want to help, look up her GoFundMe and help. Yeah. And that is just about all I got.
I have to have a conversation with God after this because I did a lot of laughing.
You're not the only one. The thing is, you're just now hearing about this all at once. The rest of us have been hearing about it for like the past 5 days. And the internet has been enthralled. My nigga, when I tell you she trends every day.
I literally scooped up this information to come do this fucking podcast today, and like right on the end of it, I saw a headline about Gorilla Glue Girl, and I thought to myself as I picked up my MacBook, what the fuck would somebody need to do to be called Gorilla Glue Girl? Literally like 2 hours ago.
And now you know. And now.
Oh my gosh, y'all.
No. Wouldn't be shocked if she used crazy glue to apply her lashes. Please don't do that shit no more either. Girls be using that same black glue that you use to lay tracks to apply their fucking lashes. Stop. They tell you not to put that shit on your eyes for a reason. They tell you not to let it come into contact with your skin for a reason.
Everything ain't got to be a life hack, y'all. Sometimes it's just best to go with the tried and true.
Especially when they outright tell you, do not put this on or in or near your person. Be in a ventilated area. Y'all the same hoes that'll mix ammonia and bleach and wonder why you start feeling dizzy.
It's like people, it's not even like how some people don't realize that Q-tips are technically not supposed to go in your ear. Allegedly. Like, right, but like that's that. But who is confused about the power of Gorilla Glue?
Nobody.
I didn't.
Nobody.
Because not if she coming out talking about don't do it, y'all, as if there was a poll for like.
As if somebody was thinking about it.
Oh no, sis.
Yeah. So you just keep Tessica in your prayers as she recovers. Lord
yeah,
willing.
I definitely hope that she can afford the bill. Because a doctor got to do that.
Yeah. Or even better if somebody just can do it for her for free.
Yeah, that would be great.
Even better if she can get like the drugs and the help that she needs. Because this is a very sad, very hilarious, until you think about the pain, situation that she put herself in.
Right. It's funny, and yet I would never want it to happen to me or anyone I care
Right.
about.
And I don't want her to suffer, but I just
me neither.
can't fathom why you thought that ponytail was worth it. Maybe you need to ask yourself some hard questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Woo. And yeah, that's it for me. And this week's episode of The Read. So,
well,
check us out at thisistheread.com. Follow us on social media at thisistheread. You can find our merch at shoptheread.com. Any news for you this week?
I have nothing left. Like, the Pangea is driving everybody off the edge.
It is. Get Tessica the vaccine and hurry up.
Like, I'm done. I'm just gonna go and like walk my dog and figure out why we're here. Because this is like,
all right, you guys.
Not she's 40 and okay, I'm done. Tessica, I'm sorry. I really hope that it works out for you.
Mm-hmm. And on that note, we will see you niggas next week.